Hey guys, just Joe here. I just really excited to talk to you guys today because I want to talk about a little bit of my journey. Not definitely not the whole journey, but kind of the start of my journey of building wealth and creating businesses and things like that. And a lot of people actually don't know that I started in the insurance industry. So this is kind of going to be a story about how I got started in the insurance industry and why I decided to actually quit several months after being introduced to the idea. So basically, I started off as a sales representative at Best Buy, and my manager introduced me to a guy that worked there, and he was like, "Oh yeah, he works here, but he doesn't need to work here." And I was like, "Why? What does that mean?" So he introduced me to the guy, and the guy actually told me, "Yeah, I have an insurance business, blah blah blah. It creates like 70,000 to $100,000 of income for my family per year, like part time." And I'm like, what? Like, until that time, I've never heard of somebody making that amount of money part time. So I really had to like see what he was doing. And I was like, look, I want to learn more. So he was like, yeah, but I guess he was super busy, or maybe his business was declining a little bit or something. I forgot what the story was behind that, but he was like, I think the best person for you to talk to, this guy, Mr. Johnson. So he introduced me to Mr. Johnson, and actually he just gave me his number and told me to call him. So it was no formal introduction, but I was only making like $9 an hour, and I wasn't even working 30 hours a week most of the time. So I barely had money coming in. I mean, I had some, but it definitely wasn't enough to cover all my bills. So I really wanted to get to know this guy and see if he could teach me the business. So I called him literally every day I got home from work. I literally, the first thing I did was drop my bag off by the door and literally call this man. And it took literally 3 or 4 calls for me to get an answer. And then he told me, I think we should sit down and meet. And he basically put me through an interviewing process. And in the interviewing process, I actually found out that it wasn't necessarily a job, it was a business opportunity. So I'm like, all right, cool. I could get, I mean, I viewed it as being something that was better than what I was already doing. So I was like, why not? I'll give it a shot. It's not like it costed a whole bunch of money to start up. But that's how I got started training as an insurance agent. So I got the licensing that I needed, everything that I needed. And basically, I would go out on these, I guess, what you would call field trainings, and I would be pitching the same type of insurance to every individual I met. Just to, so I was telling everybody, I'm pretty sure everybody's heard of this, but buy term and invest the difference, which I feel like is a good play for certain types of individuals. Now, here's where I begin to really find out that sometimes you're trained to sell a product and not necessarily help a person. And I'm going to explain the difference between those two things in a second. One day, it was this lady, I was sitting down with her, and she really, really wanted insurance, like badly. And I wanted to help her. But she was up there in age. I believe she was probably 60 plus years old. And she had medical issues, right? And I felt bad because I gave her the presentation of why term insurance was superior to different types of insurance. And I just remember I got the application ready. I put the application through, and she was denied. And I kept telling my mentor, like, I know that it was a possibility that she wasn't going to get approved for this because she's up there in age and she has medical problems. But I really want to help this woman. There has to be some type of insurance out there. I mean, geez, just give her $20,000 to cover like funeral expenses. She doesn't have anything. And he told me he was going to work on it. But lo and behold, like months later, she was still uninsured. And that continued me going on a journey of finding out, like, am I really helping the people I'm supposed to be helping? And I just started to look into term insurance, finance, retirement accounts, and different things. And I just realized that the product that I was selling wasn't necessarily for everyone. Like, a lot of people may disagree with me, but I believe if you're gonna buy term insurance, it's because you're in a